Here's what
of year again. Families come together with friends. We'll break bread, we'll play cards and have fun. So today I say Merry Christmas. Children here, and they're having fun, asking mama and papa, can we stay up to one, so we can open up our gifts. Merry, Merry Christmas. I know you're call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. You call me a god. 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 I don't know how to stop. I just go till I drop. Whether it's working or shots, give it all that I got. You can watch me work in my element. Anyone in the way is irrelevant. You wanna cross me, cool, not intelligent. Cause I don't forget shit like an elephant. Go ahead and tempt me, put it on the line and you'll come up empty. If I got time, I'm deadly. Never caught off guard, no, I'm always ready. I got a hand real steady. Look me in the eye and you'll see no hezzy. About to get real messy. I'll put you in a grave 6 feet like Kenny. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god.
What you gon' do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Girl, you know that I will never disrespect you. We love tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spank you. That ass, girl, gotta make it last now. Start off so, then I'ma beat it up. No, try to say stop when the beat say go. There you go again, that voice is oh, watch you make your girlfriend go. Come on, come on, come on. You've been waiting patiently, wondering when and where I be. The cousin rockets in the industry, making this so she can't sleep.
January boy, remix money.
Hail Mary, full of grace. Hail Mary, full of grace. Hail Mary, full of grace. I swear that's what she said. Shawty looking at me, she's a flirt. All night creeper, let her know I put in work, but it's something I gotta teach her. Bust it open, bring it back. I'll be ready to attack. Got an automatic weapon, it go plat. She's a wifey in the street, sweet like a dove. Key in her ignition, now she rolling with a dog. She know that I keep her strong, and you know where I'm from. It's that Chi-Town boy, and I got these honeys speaking in tongues. In tongues. In tongues. In tongues. I got them blue speaking in tongues.
She be like, Ludacris, don't nobody give it to me like you do. I cast a spell on them. They be think I'm doing voodoo. Can't understand the words you saying. You need a translator. I aim before I shoot, then I assassinate her. She be catching that Holy Ghost. She had a loss for words. Said she really wanna wet the fabric, so I'm a softened nerd. Was a good girl when I met her, and she was so pure. Now I got her in the back room talking about Hanam Harenge cure. That's what you get when you messing with the boys in the hood that's from the South. We be like, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? She got just what she wanted, and she know I'm hung. I guess that's why it seems
I got these honeys speaking in tongues. In tongues. In tongues. In tongues. days a week, get off on a Sunday. Come over late at night and then I eat it like a Sunday. She know that I'm a heavyweight, more money than collection play. She tired and she sliding on me like a tidal wave. I mean, Shawty's so fine, you need to pray for it. She yelling, but I don't know what she's saying to me. She's speaking languages that I ain't never heard. Call her Dirty Diana, man, the way she make it jerk. She know that I keep her strong, and you know where I'm from. It's that Chi-Town boy, and I got these honeys speaking in tongues. In tongues. In tongues. In tongues. I got them all speaking in. Shawty, what you say? Shawty, what you say? Shawty, what you say? Shawty, what you say? I got these honeys speaking in tongues. In tongues. In tongues. In tongues. In tongues.
Yep.
In tongues.
It's that time again.
In tongues.
Yeah. Check. It's that mic check time again. What's going on, Dream Team? Everybody that's in the chat, what's going on? Oh, we're going to break it down. Hit that like button. Come on, hit that like button. That's all you got to do is hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. We got some things to talk about. I see some people in the chat. Miss Lady T, Tyree, Willie, Miss Prima Donna, Tanil, Lil Titi. Who else? Mighty Spade, Cooper in the building. Man, I Bless One. What's up, Bless One? How you been? Aisha Judd, what's going on? No, Bella. Oh, yeah. Some stuff came up today that I ain't happy about. Lil Titi, hey. Miss Virgo Gray. What's up, Miss Virgo Gray? Look, I can't call all of y'all. Zay, what up, bro? I can't call all of y'all, man. Ann Huff, how you doing? Look, I can't call everybody, but I'm going to say this and I'm going to keep it real. Some stuff came out, and I ain't happy about it. I personally sat back and came live late today for a reason. I want to see who's doing what. I wanted to see who had something to say. I wanted to see who's really about that life. And when I look at it, I see the normal usual people. Big Vibe, what up, bro? I see the normal, usually people. Miss Belinda, what's going on? Hammer Nation, what's up? I see the normal people that's about that smoke. I came in the house. I said, I'm going to lay down for a minute and I'm going to go live. You know, I'm going to wake up for a second. I'm going to go live. And I seen my little bro, Big Bi, destroying shit. I look over, I see my sis, Prima Donna, destroying shit. I look out there, I see everybody else quiet. Then I look at another channel. They throwing shots about me. Well, you don't got those shots. I ain't hard to find. The big fish about to drop the big smoke. So let's get into it because we got some topics to talk about. My R. Kelly commentary will come last because I got to break it down. I see the fake wrestler out there talking crazy. Bro, if you don't know what you're talking about, this is not the stage and time to play. Grown folks are in operation. And you know, when you operate, you can't have kids running around the operating room. There's too many utensils that you have to deal with. So I cannot tend to the wannabe DanaJay kids. I can't do it right now. First things first, Gunna. Y'all see what I said? Gunna, huh? After reading this, I gotta say, it's not looking good for Jeffrey. So Gunna and alleged gang co-founder negotiate guilty pleas in YSL RICO case. Peep this. I keep telling y'all, in order for you to plead guilty, first of all, in order for you to plea, you got to give up something. You have to admit something. So let's read a little bit. 2 co-defendants, including the Atlanta rapper Gunna, have entered negotiated guilty pleas ahead of the RICO trial against the alleged Young Slime Life gang, scheduled to start next month. The Fulton County District Attorney's Office confirmed Walter Murphy entered a guilty plea Tuesday, and Gunna, whose real name is Sergio Kitchens, entered a guilty plea Wednesday on a single count of conspiracy to violate the Racketeer, Influence, and Corruption Organizations RICO Act each. Stop. Ask yourself this question. Why would Gunna plead guilty if it was just said 2 months ago that they didn't have nothing on him? Well, you're going to understand why. Check this out. According to court documents, Murphy was sentenced to 10 years with 1 year commuted to time served and 9 years of probation as part of the negotiated plea. So basically, he don't do no time behind bars. Well, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. He did 1 year behind bars already. Because with 1 year commuted to time served and 9 years of probation. So that means that he will be out in the house for 9 years and he got to be on probation for 9 years. But he don't serve no time. I thank y'all for watching me today. I thank y'all for giving me y'all views. So let's get into it and let's give y'all what y'all came here for. Commentary. Kitchens was sentenced to 5 years with 1 year commuted to time served and the rest of the 4 years of his sentence suspended and subject to special conditions, including 500 hours of community service. He is required to spend 350 hours speaking to young men and women about the hazardous and immortality of gangs and gang violence and the decay it causes in the community. His attorney, Steve Sato, said, "My focus of YSL was entertainment. Rap artists who wrote and performed music that exaggerated and glorified urban life in the Black community." Kitchen said in a statement, "I love and cherish my association with YSL music and always will. I look at this as an opportunity to give back to my community and educate young men and women that gangs and violence only lead to destruction." Stop. With that being said, let me ask this question. With 26 people taking plea deals, right? Where do that leaves Jeffrey, aka Young Thug? What up, Baptist? Where do that leave Young Thug? If everybody taking plea deals, where did that leave Young Thug? That's why I always say, whenever you're going to do things, if you do anything, you don't need no co-defendants. Do your dirt all by your lonely. Because now they trying to they pretty much giving you a picture. And I put this one first because you're going to see how the feds work. They pretty much giving you a picture of who they really want. Now, if the feds ain't have nothing on Gunna, and we all know that, but they just wouldn't let him out. They held him until he pled guilty to 1 count. So it's not about if you're right or if you're wrong. It's about when the feds come in, that conviction rate have to stay what? High. So check it. In a statement released through his attorneys, Kitchen said he had entered an Alford plea, which is a guilty plea to the 1 charge against him in the indictment. He said the Alford plea was his best interest and allowed him to maintain his innocence. Wait a minute. If you entered a guilty plea, right? How is that in your best interest and it allows you to maintain innocence? Watch how the Alford plea worked. Check this out. Sadal said Kitchen's sentence would be terminated after completion of his community service. Stop. So you mean to tell me that's all he got to do is community service and his sentence will be terminated? So wait a minute. In the beginning, let's go back up. In the beginning, it looked great. 5 years, 1 year into this time served, and 4 years, and the rest of the 4 years of his sentence suspended and subject to special conditions and including 500 hours of community service. He is required to spend 350 hours of 500 hours speaking to young men and women. So, in other words, what they did was they used his lawyer to make it seem sweet. But one thing you got to understand is when you get a lawyer, you are a subject to the bar. The lawyer first job is to the bar. The lawyer first, and the lawyer first, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? The lawyer, oh man, what is that word I'm looking for? The lawyer first person to protect is the bar, not you. But watch this. Sadal said Kitchen's sentence would be terminated after completion of his community service. He is to have no contact with co-defendants. Uh-oh. That means he can't have contact with nobody, not even Thug. No guns. And if called by any party during the trial, he reserves the right to assert his Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. You know what they basically telling you? If Thug call you for a witness to him, you can plead the Fifth. If the government calls you back and wants you to go against Thug, you can plead the Fifth. However, pleading the Fifth can be a good thing or a bad thing. Because if the government calls you in to plead the Fifth against Young Thug, which it sounds like they're going to do, and you plead the Fifth, they going to then turn it and say, oh, he got something to hide. He can go, but everything that we're telling you, Judge, is true because Young Thug have his people scared to talk. This is a cat and mouse game. This is a bait and switch. This is a bait and switch. And it's also a cat and mouse. What do you mean by that, Dana? The defense team is extremely pleased that Sergio Kitchens, better known as Gunna, was able to resolve his case on such favorable terms. Listen what he's saying. The defense team. They ain't say who defense team. They said the defense team. Well, if Gunna have his own defense team and Thug have his own and everybody got their own, what defense team are they talking about? But it says the defense team is extremely pleased that Sergio Kitchens, better known as Gunna, was able to resolve his case on such favorable terms. Sadal said in a statement, "We know Gunna looks forward to both pursuing his highly successful music career and giving back to the community in which he works and loves." Sadal said Kitchens is expected to be released from the Fulton County Jail by Wednesday night. Stop. Didn't they pick Gunna up right after they picked up Thug? Check it. A special condition of probation is that Murphy testify truthfully in any further trial as it may become necessary. Stop. I told you it was the catch. Here's the catch. A special condition of probation is that Murphy testify truthfully in any further trial as it may become necessary. What other trial are they talking about? Then they get balls and they go in and tell you, State of Georgia and the other individuals named in the indictment, Murphy, along with Atlanta rapper Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, and Gunna were among 28 defendants named in the sweeping gang indictment. So check this out. Thug got 27 people that either did plea or turned state. Sounds like somebody else we know, right? Sounds like somebody that we're going to be talking about in a few short moments. You haven't heard Jeffrey Williams say nothing. His lawyer spoke, but he ain't saying nothing. And he looking around and seeing everybody get out. Check it. How they claim to have 28 co-defendants or defendants, but only 4 is being talked about. I'm going to fast forward and I'm going to jump over something. How are you going to come out and say, federal government, you have 200 witnesses and defendants for New York, but you only bring 45 to court? Remember when I told y'all about the ghost defendants, the ones that's not being talked about? Let's finish this up. Authorities say Williams and Kitchens are leaders in the gang. Oh, hold on. If Williams and Kitchens are leaders in the gang and the YSL gang, how can they get, let's go here. How can Kitchens get a special bond, but Williams can't? If this case don't make you think, nothing will. Side by side this with R. Kelly case. Attorneys for the rappers have contested the charges for months, arguing in hearings and court filings that YSL is just a record label, not a violent gang. In a statement, Gunna said he joined YSL in 2016 and did not consider it a gang, and more like a common group with common interests and artistic aspirations. Gunna said he has no intention on testifying during the trial. He has no intentions. You got to pay attention to the wordplay. You might not have an intent to testify, but when the heat come down and them boys pressure you, you might not have no choice but to testify. While I have agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way, the rapper said in a statement. How can you say that when just above you made a special deal. Make it make sense. Let's get them likes up, y'all. I got 140. Let's get me up. Let's get me up to 100. Come on. Let's get them likes. How can you say you have not been interviewed? You have not cooperated, but they're giving you a special deal. Now, do that make sense? Jury selection is scheduled to start January the 4th. Motions hearing are scheduled for Thursday and Monday. Trial of Young Thug, Gunna, and 26 other defendants set to begin in January. Prosecutors are expected to call more than 300 witnesses. Damn. Whee! Good God Almighty. Prosecutors are expected to call more than 300 witnesses during the trial, which is expected to take 6 to 9 months. God. Wait a minute. Robert trial was 6 weeks, and that was long. But they talking about this trial is going to take 6 to 9 months. God. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. Prosecutors are expected to call more than 300 witnesses during the trial, which is expected to take 6 to 9 months. Murphy's lawyer, Jacoby Hudson, told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that he is not sure if his client will be called up to testify against the other co-defendants, but said Murphy is ready to move on. Whoa. Whoa. My client doesn't know anything. During a lot of the acts that they are alleging, he was in prison. My client doesn't know anything, Hudson said. What the heck? Oh my God. The Fulton County District Attorney's Office presented the plea deal to Hudson a week or so ago. He said other discussions with Murphy, but I thought he didn't talk. I thought he wasn't gonna. Come on, man. The one thing the feds do will tell on you in an indirect way. They felt it was in the best interest to accept the deal, but I thought he didn't cooperate. No, it was only 28 people. It was only 28 people that was indicted. It's a fair resolution to this case. My client did his time already, and he is ready to move on with his life, Hudson said. According to the indictment, Murphy allegedly was involved in an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon in 2013 and attempted murder involving 4 different victims in 2015. During a bond hearing in June, Hudson said Murphy had already faced charges in those incidents and had pleaded guilty to reduced charges. Murphy has spent 7 years in prison on criminal street gang, aggravated assault, and aggravated battery charges from a 2015 case. Murphy was out on parole when he was named in the YSL indictment. Murphy is alleged to have co-founded YSL gang with Williams and co-defendant Trontavia Stevens. In late 2012, in the Cleveland Avenue area, which is now called Cleveland, according to the indictment, Murphy has a tattoo with the letters YSL on his forehead. In an interview with Channel 2 Action News, Murphy said YSL was not a gang. I would rather say it's more like a record label or family. Murphy said, once upon a time, I was actually a road manager on that label. According to court documents, Murphy is also required to spend 300 hours of community service, with a substantial portion spent talking to young men and women at locations determined by the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. About the dangers and immorality of gangs and gang violence. Yo, Young Thug, other defendants facing new charges and gang indictment. So make this make sense. They get deals, but now Young Thug and other defendants are facing new charges all of a sudden. And you didn't talk to who? If Murphy completes all the conditions successfully and has no violations of the law greater than a high and aggravated misdemeanor, his probation will be suspended after 5 years. According to court documents, Murphy is not allowed any contact with any other co-defendants on the indictment. Young Thug's lawyers want lyrics removed as evidence from RICO trial motion says. Murphy turned himself in June after being named in the indictment. Channel 2 reported. Hudson said Murphy has already been released from jail. What? But I thought he was one of the leaders. The guilty plea comes days after co-defendant Cordarius Dorsey was sentenced to life in prison for a 2019 DeKalb County murder. Authorities said Dorsey also held a leadership position in YSL. And Cisco, always put it out there. Cisco guy put, Young Dolph said it best. Everybody screaming, gang, gang, gang. Them folks come and get you. You go and tell on the whole gang. Facts. That's facts. That's facts. Everybody screaming, gang, gang, gang. But when them folks pull up, you going to tell on everybody. Shout out to everybody that came in late. Hey, man, I'm just trying to say, it is what it is. They want Birdman. Man, if they wanted Birdman, new Black Panther, but they should have went after Birdman, not Thug. Let's get into the next joint. Let's get into the next joint. I told you I was gonna give y'all the paperwork. I ain't gonna add no filler. I'm gonna say what it is. United States versus Christopher Gunn. Dear Judge Gonzalez, pursuant to the court's order dated November the 28th, 2022, the parties respectfully submit this joint letter to suggest a potential solution to ease the burden on the defense team resulting from the current bond conditions. Order at 6 ECF number 30. Specifically, the parties have conferred and agreed upon the following procedures. Defense counsel will copy the discovery material, except material designated as protected discovery, pursuant to the protective order entered in this case, to a laptop computer that the federal defenders have modified such that it cannot access the internet, and then will send that computer to the defendant for him to access. Before defense counsel sends the computer to the defendant, staff from the United States Attorney's Office will have an opportunity to inspect to the computer to ensure that it has no ability to connect to the internet. Thereafter, pretrial services will conduct periodic checks of the computer to ensure that it remains unable to connect to the internet. Because the defendant's current bond conditions prohibit his use of an internet-capable device, the parties respectfully submit that the current bond conditions would permit the defendant's possession of a laptop computer that cannot access the internet. Oh, I see what's going on. You after conferring with pretrial services, however, the parties understand that pretrial services would require the court to modify the defendant's bond conditions to permit pretrial services to conduct inspections of the laptop computer to ensure that it has no internet capability. Accordingly, The parties respectfully request that the court modify the defendant's bond to permit pretrial services to conduct inspections of the laptop computer only to the extent necessary to ensure that it cannot access the internet. Such inspections may include a physical inspection of the computer and an inspection of what applications and or programs are available on a laptop, only to the extent necessary to ensure that it cannot access the internet. Such inspection may not include an inspection of the contents of any documents, pictures, or videos on the laptop. Respectfully submitted, Breon Peace. Now I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say this. And because I'm not an indirect person, I'm gonna say this, dude. You know you fucked up, right? You know you fucked up. Without me going too deep, only thing I'm gonna say it to you is this: are you smarter than a fifth grader? If you don't see what's going on, you crazy. But I'm not gonna tell you. I don't fuck with you. I don't like you. I'm gonna sit back and watch this game play out. I just know when they do stuff like this, I know what's next. So let's go into this real quick. And Kim Foxx. I have a question. I have a question. I need people to post what time it is in the chat. Wherever you at, put the time that it is right now in the chat. Because, see, you got these folks that's coming on the internet talking about they love R. Kelly. Oh my God, exposing the frauds and doing all this and doing all that. I need y'all to put whatever time zone y'all in right now. I got Darlene Williams, 7:25 p.m. Cooper put 10:25. J-Rock put 9:25. Ronell Gordon put 10:25. Me, Cooper, and Ronell on the same time zone. Aisha put 9:25. Judah put 9:25. Okay, let's go here. With that being said, Kim Foxx, today is your deadline. You were supposed to have made an announcement today at 12/14/2022 because they gave you 30 days. 30 days ago. You were supposed to announce today if you was going to drop charges or if you was going to keep them going. What people don't understand is the game that's being played. And the game that's being played is this right here. I find it funny that a trailer dropped for a docuseries today, on the day that Kim Foxx is supposed to announce if she's going to drop charges or not. See, ain't nobody paying attention to the real play. The real play is if I take the people attention, or if I get the people attention off of what I was supposed to do, maybe won't nobody pay attention to the fact that I was supposed to do something. And I can get a couple more days to slide through. But if I can get the people to look at this man as a monster again, and guess what? if I enter, I'm not going to drop charges. It's easier to charge them based on the docuseries. Now, let me unpack some things for you. What up, Skylight? Where you been at? Let me unpack some things for you. Let me backtrack for you. First, you have Don Russell come out and tell y'all he's going to put Kel's music out. Kel's Nation coming back, and ain't nothing DanaJay can do about it. That's first. Second thing was his music come out. An album that's been put together from 12 Play fourth quarter. I told y'all where the album came from. Right? It was snatched down off of all major platforms except for one. And that's a corpse account platform. Who deals with corpse accounts? None other than who? Don Russell. Now, I know people going to say, oh my God, he's back to Don Russell stuff again. But look, if it looked like a duck, if it walked like a duck, if it talked like a duck, it can't be a chicken. Who have R. Kelly's Sony Portal? The Sony Portal is like a digital library with signatures from top execs. You have to submit that to streaming platforms to get your stuff up there. Or you have to submit a lawyer notice from your entertainment lawyer, and you have to send it over for them to validate who you are, along with a license, along with anything else to prove this is you. With that being said, that was done. Not just to this private corpse thing, but to Spotify. Then you see a fake Joycelyn Savage account that we all prove has been ran by the Savages. But people saying, wait a minute, what do that have to do with anything? Let's take it back. Remember when Don told Tim, I'm running this, not you. Now we can work as a team. I'm paraphrasing now. But that came out so long ago, people forgot about it. Not me. Let's fast forward a little bit. You see Jetfly Leaks, aka Richard Arline, come out and make statements to me. Oh, we could have worked as a team, but you want to go public with everything. R. Kelly, he ain't fulfilled pockets. He gonna pay either way, in jail or home. Who's connected to Richard Arline? Make it make sense. The Savages went quiet. I spoke about a TV deal. They went ultra quiet. The TV deal flopped. It didn't even make it to press release. So ask yourself this question. If Don needs commissary, Don needs money to pay for lawyers, Tim want money because his daughter ain't come back home. What better way than to scam R. Kelly than to put something out there to try to gain funds, hoping the people would jump to it like they did, not knowing that everything that's collected goes to whoever uploaded it. Make it make sense. What up, Diva? Make it make sense. I'm lining it up for you. All the other distractions were just distractions to keep the real people that's really fighting for Robert entertained and distracted, and to make the people that's really trying to support Robert Sylvester Kelly go this way, that way, that way, and that way, when really none of them have any commentary or none of them have any type of update into Robert Sylvester Kelly. Just pay attention. Just pay attention. So, Cook County prosecutors undecided on new R. Kelly trial. This was December the 13th. Hearing set for R&B singer. And today is what? December the 14th. But this came out November the 14th, 2022, which makes today the date. But yesterday, it was pushed back. Wait a minute. Why are you pushing the hearing back when Kim Foxx asked for 30 days from November the 14th to make a decision? I'm just saying, make it make sense. Kim Foxx asked for 30 days from November the 14th, which would have been today, to come live and determine if she's going to drop charges or not. But yesterday, listen to what they say. December the 13th hearing set for R&B singer convicted on federal charges related to sex with underage girls in New York, Chicago, after prosecutors seek more time to gather documents. This is a stall tactic, people. Why? Because they got a cake baking. The cake baking is called the final chapter. It's called the final chapter. Come on, y'all. Let's get them likes up. I got 166 watching and 58 like. Come on, get me to 100. It's called the final chapter. But see, one thing I love is that God sits high and look low. And what people is trying to set as the final chapter for Robert Kelly, it very well might be the final chapter for them. I said it before 2 years ago. Robert Kelly and R. Kelly are two different situations. You have one being an entity, and you have the other being a man. So with that being said, you can end R. Kelly, but you can never end Robert Sylvester Kelly. One thing for sure, two things for certain. You hear people talk about, oh, this and this, 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 this and this. But from the prosecution side, this might be the end of a story. But what I want to ask the prosecution is, will you be there for the resurrection? Will you be there for the resurrection? Just like they say they did to Jesus when they took him to Golgotha, which is the hill called Galilee. The real name is called Golgotha. That it's called the hill of Golgotha. When they took him there, they say they hung him high, They stretched him wide. The songs say they hung him high, they stretched him wide, he hung his head, for me he died, that's love. That song is incorrect. Because if you read the text, they say they hung him high, they stretched him wide, but they pierced him in his side, and water came streaming out of his side. They say they put a crown on his head, and he still didn't die. But then he made a statement and said, I lay down my life. Nobody take it. So let's read this. Cook County prosecutors on Monday asked for more time to decide on whether to prosecute R&B star R. Kelly on sexual abuse charges involving 4 Chicago area women. At a brief hearing at the Lighton Criminal Court Building, Assistant State's Attorney Teenie McCoy Cummings told Judge Lawrence Flood that the prosecution still is assembling transcripts from Kelly's trial in federal court in New York and Chicago, where the singer has already been convicted on charges related to having sex with underage girls. Cummings asked for another 30 days to review the records. Flood set the next hearing in the case for December the 13th, which was yesterday. I am eager to see where the state stands on this and to push forward if that's where we're going, said Kelly's lawyer, Jennifer Bonjean. Bonjean, who represented Kelly in his federal trial in Chicago and is handling his post-trial motions in New York, offered to provide transcripts to the prosecution. I don't think transcripts should stand in the way beyond the 30 days, Bonjean said. The 55-year-old singer was not present for the brief hearing Monday. He's serving a 30-year prison sentence on racketeering charges from his federal trial in New York. Kelly is likely to see several more decades tacked onto his prison term when he is sentenced on federal charges in Chicago, where a jury in September found him guilty on multiple child pornography and child enticement counts. Stop. A jury did not find him guilty on that. The judge changed the language that made him be guilty, because the original language, you cannot switch and to or. But I forgot, this is the feds. This is the criminal system. They do what they want to do to get who they want to get. Some might like what I just said and some might not. But guess what? Truth is the truth, and I stand on it. You cannot change the wording in the 9th inning. 2 outs, 2 strikes, no balls. But he did. And in that wording, it took him from not guilty to guilty. The difference between and or. State's Attorney Kim Foxx in January 2019 made a public request for victims to come forward after the Surviving R. Kelly documentary series aired that month and brought fresh attention to decades-old allegations against the singer. Kelly was indicted in February 2019 on charges of sexually abusing 4 women, including 3 underage girls, and charges in federal court and Minnesota came soon after. The Cook County cases dated back as far as the late 1990s, and based on court files, at least 2 of his alleged victims already have testified against Kelly in either the New York or Chicago federal trials. One alleged victim, identified in Cook County records by the initials RL, which is Rashonda Lanford, appears to have been the star witness at Kelly's Chicago federal trial, testifying under the pseudonym Jane. The woman said Kelly began molesting her when she was just 14, and that the singer persuaded her and her parents not to cooperate. with investigators ahead of Kelly's 2008 Cook County trial for making sex tapes with her when she was a minor. Okay. Another of his alleged victims, identified in the court records by the initials Heather Williams, HW, appears to be Heather Williams, who sued Kelly shortly after he was charged in Cook County. Williams, who claimed the singer approached her when she was 16 and had sex with her multiple times in the year that followed, won a $4 million default judgment against Kelly. Default means you didn't show up. Against Kelly after the singer failed to make timely responses to her lawsuit. So she didn't win by presenting anything. She won by default. But see, they ain't going to talk about how Kelly went back and sued her and got all that back. So they ain't going to talk about that. But let's go ahead. Williams has not received the payout, but the litigation has tangled the singer's access to his bank accounts. Her attorney, Jeffrey Deutschman, declined to comment Monday on whether the state's attorney should continue to process the cases. Okay. So we got that out the way, right? Which leads to the gloating and showboating of Kim Foxx. R. Kelly guilty verdict. The critical role Kim Foxx played in securing justice for Black women and girls. Now watch this. Kim Foxx secured justice for Black women and girls. I told y'all Black means deaf, right? So Kim Foxx secured justice for dead women and girls. The Cook County State's Attorney Office was instrumental in starting a legal domino effect that ended with a conviction more than 2 years later. I told y'all her office was not able to handle this. So what she do? She had to start it for the feds to get involved. If she ain't started, the feds would have never got involved. So watch this. One of the more popular sentiments being expressed in the wake of R. Kelly's guilty verdict following his sex trafficking trial has been how dead women, Black women, would not rest until the disgraced singer was brought to justice. After all, his victims were primarily Black girls and women, a truth that likely made it all the more personal to the Black women who led the charge to get Kelly investigated, arrested, and charged and successfully prosecuted. Come on, y'all. I need 30 more likes. Get me to 30 more likes. So it says, and while acting U.S. Attorney Jacqueline M. Collis may have finished the job on Monday, when the jury found Kelly guilty of racketeering and 8 counts of anti-sex trafficking law, one Black woman back in Chicago certainly deserves at least a healthy portion of the credit for starting what became the legal domino effect that ended with a conviction more than 2 years later. Check it out. What is this about again? Credit. Who have been talking about as long as they get credit, but that's all they worried about? I'm pointing you in directions of people. I'm giving you nuggets now. Because after today, I'm a hyper extend this. So I'm giving you credit. I'm giving you nuggets to the people who jumped on the internet that only wanted credit. Thank you, Ms. Jennings. I'm talking about the people that jumped on here that only wanted credit. They would do whatever they had to do just to get acknowledged by Robert Sylvester Kelly that they jumped in here and did what they had to do to get credit and acknowledgement by him. So watch this. Callers knew as much, too, since the office of Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx was among the first people the acting U.S. Attorney thanked following the guilty verdict when I showed y'all the text messages before. So now we know Carlos was the U.S. attorney that was with Kim Foxx, Jim Dariagas, what's that lawyer that got locked up? Oh man, what is his name? Oh man, oh shoot, the Stormy Daniels dude. What is his name? Oh my God, Michael Avenatti. Thank you so much, Willie. Michael Avenatti. And then she's going to say, to refresh memories, it was Fox's office that charged Kelly with multiple counts of sex abuse in 2019. I told y'all, Kim Foxx was led to bring the charges. That's all you got to do is wait 6 weeks after bringing charges. And then your office can shuffle it to a higher authority. But not before the airing of Surviving R. Kelly. When I told y'all it was a plot, it was a plan. Within the 6 weeks, Surviving R. Kelly came out. What did Surviving R. Kelly do? Brainwash the public. Villainized Robert Sylvester Kelly. Made him a monster. So when you have the machine going at you, understand this. It's an uphill battle. And you can't make no mistakes, or the machine will swallow you whole. The mistake that Robert made was ever having Don Russell associated with him. And not just Don Russell, a whole lot more other people. Remember, they had 200 people that was close to Robert to come and testify against him. Watch this. You and I might not ever get to see the list because it's sealed. Only the lawyers and Robert's supposed to see it. Robert can't even have it in his possession. His lawyers had to show him the names of the people that testified against him. The feds only used 45 in New York. The feds only used 9 in Chicago. So out of 200 people for New York, and I don't know the total for Chicago, you have 45 out of 200 and 9 out of Chicago. Case sound like BS to me. But because he had other things against him, it was easy for people to say guilty. Even though if you wasn't there, you don't know. A lot of these acts was not proven. Thanks to Jennifer Bonjean, the appeal gonna look great when she present it and lay it out. I just want to know where people's minds at now. Robert told y'all via Levi for Kelly, the real conversation. Unlike these other crash dummies out here, Robert said, they trying to set me up. Well, look at the setup. You release music. You title it, I Admitted. Nobody care about the song. It's the title. What are you admitting? Then they listen to the song, and Robert's going in about He didn't do any of that. What happens? The public ridicules him, destroys him, rips him to shreds. What comes out in less than 48 hours later? The final chapter, the trailer. So here's what we have to do. I'm going to pause that. Let me finish reading this because I'm getting ahead of myself. But I'm going to pause what I'm about to say with that. And I'm going to come back and say it after I show this goddamn trailer, right? So, to fresh memories, it was Kim Foxx's office that charged Kelly with multiple counts of sex abuse in 2019. Let's go, y'all. Get me up to 100 likes, please. But not before the airing of Surviving R. Kelly, a docuseries that debuted early that year and chronicled accounts from the then alleged victims of the man who had been acquitted on similar charges involving an underage girl more than a decade earlier. It was Surviving R. Kelly that prompted Foxx, the first black woman, the first dead woman to be Cook County's prosecutor, to begin asking for victims to come forward following the 2019 revelation of a video that reportedly shows R. Kelly having sex with an underage girl. Foxx set up a hotline for victims to contact her office. That's called soliciting. You cannot solicit while you're in office. That's illegal. I'm here today to encourage victims of sexual assault or domestic violence related to these allegations to please get in touch with our office. That's soliciting. You can't use the word please. And you can't have people to call you about somebody. Foxx said at the time, in order to have an investigation, we have to have victims and witnesses who are willing to come forth with whatever information that they have. Foxx explained her motive during an interview with the New York Times. This is about, for me, opening doors. Foxx told the Times at the time, we should allow people to have the opportunity to tell their stories and then vet them. Foxx, who herself a survivor of sexual assault, oh my God, that means whatever somebody say, she's going to side with them. Make it make sense. Said she knew it was not easy for women and girls to come forward. Foxx added, I hope that the public I hope that the public has seen that there is a real need to have conversations about sexual abuse and sexual assault, particularly with young victims. Okay, let's go here. Is it safe to say that they should open up a case against Kim Foxx for her abusing her husband? Can we go there? But let's finish. 1 week later, Kelly was hit with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse in Cook County. After several accusers had previously come forward, 2 more women also did the same on the day before Foxx's office charged Kelly. Foxx, who grew up in public housing in Chicago, has openly said that she can relate to Kelly's victims in part because she herself was sexually assaulted as a young girl. Now, who in the hell want to sexually assault that? As someone who came from a neighborhood like I did, to be able to step into this moment right now where we can transform our criminal justice system and have the support of all of you, you have no idea how much that means. She once told the Chicago Tribune. So now that we see that she's taking credit for a lot of that. However, I want you to look at the sheeple. I want you to look at the sheeple. And here's where I say, and a lot of people going to get mad at me. Here's where I say, I don't feel sorry for Jesse Jackson. Whatever he going through, he fucking deserve. Here's why I say that. When you look at the sheeple, watch this. Kim Foxx frustrated Jussie Smollett. R. Kelly text messages release. Text messages show the Chicago prosecutor whose office handled the case of Empire actor Jussie Smollett told her top duty that Smollett was a washed-up celeb who was overcharged. The Office of Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx released thousands of documents from the investigation late Tuesday in response to media requests. Stop. Here's where Chicago need to be in a goddamn uproar. But when I look, I don't see nobody in Chicago saying nothing. Now, here's where my respect for Chicago goes out the window. They claim to love R. Kelly, who's their own. Anybody that come from the outside that try to make noise for R. Kelly, the Chicagoans get upset and they claim this is a Chicago thing. Y'all ain't welcome to come and make noise in Chicago because this is a Chicago thing. He's one of us. Well, if that's the case, how was Jesse Jackson able to stand behind Kim Foxx? It's about to make me angry. Jedediah, which is right here. Why did he shut up about the Kaninka Jenkins story? He was the one that started the protest at the hotel. But when he got caught up, he pleaded to Kim Foxx and she got him off under the conditions that you will rock with me. So not only did Kim Foxx kill a voice of the people that's in Chicago that was going against what was going on in Chicago, she made him part of her team. How is Jedediah still able to walk the streets of Chicago? If you think I'm lying, go back and look at the old protests about Kaninka Jenkins. Sir Miguel said it's unethical for a prosecutor attorney to bring any personal feelings or say they've been in the same situation as a accused. Facts. Facts. But let's read out. She says Smollett was initially charged with 16 counts, alleging he lied to police when reporting he'd been the victim of a racist, homophobic attack in January. Police insist he staged the attack. The documents obtained by the Chicago Tribune include a text conversation between Foxx and Joseph Maggots, the first assistant state's attorney. Foxx said in February that she was recusing herself, but she weighed in on March 8th, sending the text to Maggots that said, "So, I'm recused, but when people accuse us of overcharging cases, 16 counts on a class 4 felony becomes Exhibit A." Maggots agreed that the indictment could be seen as excessive. Foxx then voiced her concerns by comparing Smollett's indictments to R. Kelly's. She said pedophile with 4 victims, 10 counts. Washed up celeb who lied to cops, 16 counts. She wrote, on a case eligible for deferred prosecution, I think it's indicative of something we should be looking at generally. Just because we can charge something doesn't mean we should. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just because we can charge something doesn't mean we should. So wait a minute. Was it cool to charge R. Kelly when he haven't done anything? So it says, so I'm recused, but when people accuse us of overcharging cases, 16 counts on the class 4 becomes Exhibit A. Yes, I can see where that can be excessive. Pedophile with 4 victims, 10 counts. So she called Robert a pedophile. Then she called Jussie Smollett a washed up celeb who lied to cops. So she's admitting that he lied to the cops. 16. On a case eligible for deferred prosecution, I think it's indicative of something we should be looking at genuinely. Just because we can charge something doesn't mean we should. So with that being said, y'all see they got Jussie Smollett off, right? So she did everything she could to get Jussie Smollett off. But she did everything she could to make sure Robert stays in. I'm about to show something. I want y'all to look at what's going on. I'm angry about the Surviving R. Kelly 3, but it exposed a lot of people and a lot of lies. Pay attention who you see in this clip. Pay attention what's being said in this clip. Pay attention to R. Kelly phone calls. Remember who jumped in and who jumped out. Remember the voices you heard. Remember how people went on platforms and said Dana was lying. None of that took place. Now you're going to understand why I say what I say. The situation. I'm going to let y'all see for yourself. Watch this.
In 2019, R. Kelly was arrested on federal sex crime charges.
I'm ready to just tell my truth.
He faces 2 federal and 2 state trials.
He didn't do it alone. There was an enterprise. Bodyguard, entourage, assistants.
They were sick just like him. Kelly was charged with a criminal enterprise under the RICO statutes, the way they get the Gambinos and the Genovese.
I have to walk into that courtroom. I didn't want to see his face.
I wanted to call the police, but I was terrified.
We were not just doing a protest. We were shifting the paradigm.
Everyone in R. Kelly's operation needs to go to jail. Everyone.
This is something unprecedented in the history of popular music, with, I believe, hundreds of victims. I now know 69.
For the first time, we're hearing of a John Doe.
Prosecutors say Kelly sexually abused teenage boys.
It was a bringing together of the collective power of the voices.
We had to talk to lots of women who weren't willing to come on camera.
You know, this goes back to Aaliyah.
Aaliyah's name was said for the first time in a criminal court.
And of course, she's not alive to tell her own story.
This is how much fan I am of Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly.
I was the first girl, and nobody believed me.
His entourage wanted these women's allegations to be snubbed. I said, well, don't you have my daughter? And she said, yes.
People never know what she is.
The testimony is just horrifying to read.
It is probably the most horrific audio of video that I've ever heard in my life.
It felt evil.
The punishment would be to smear her own excrement on herself, to eat it.
Here it is, I'm finna face the man that violated my daughter.
He's a predator, and a predator need to be put down.
Free R. Kelly. Free the king of R&B.
He's looking at my daughter with the weirdest look on his face.
I was in the studio and he questioned me with the gun.
He said, "Don't fuck with Mr. Kelly."
They threatened to kill my daughter. They threatened to come into my church.
This was a racketeering trial, organized crime charges.
My house was attempted to be set on fire.
We got a big boom. This car is getting blown up.
You gonna kill everybody in the house?
How did he get away with this for 30 years?
I've never seen somebody beat trial twice.
He shook me, he pushed me down the stairs. I was scared out of my mind.
I can only imagine the trauma that that woman has, and then coming out and everyone knowing who she is.
The little piece of me that wanted him to get some help, it just went out the window.
Kelly will go down in the history of popular music as the worst criminal predator ever.
Have my daughter? And she said yes.
We will never know where she is.
Said, well, don't you have my daughter? And she said yes.
We will never know where she is.
Snubbed. I said, well, don't you have my daughter? And she said yes.
We will never know where she is.
I'm sorry. I said that was Lady G. She go by the name Glenda. Well, her real name is Glenda Jeffries. That's Lady G. At the end of the day, you don't know Joy. You don't talk to Joy. You don't know Robert. You don't talk to Robert. But you damn sure don't know them savages. And when you feeding them, they will eat. That statement, you ain't gonna never know where she at. It feeds into the narrative that Robert running an enterprise. This is why I say I cannot engage with these people ever again. And it's hard not to. But the problem is these people from YouTube inducted themselves into a man's case they know nothing about. And people in YouTube is following these people. Now wait. I supposed to have been such a bad person. Excuse me. I was there during this time. Why am I not being shown in nothing? Because I didn't do nothing. How are you going to tell the savages that you ain't going to never see? Or you ain't going to never know where she at? See, everybody looking at Kim Foxx and all that. Yeah, they the main ones. But it's the little imps that builds up to it. And if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So what better way than to make Robert continue to look like a monster? Than to have somebody that say, I support Robert Sylvester Kelly. It's Robert Sylvester Kelly till I die. To turn around and say some stuff like this.
And I said, well, don't you have my daughter? And she said, yeah.
You ain't never gonna know where she is. Make it make sense. Out of all of this, you have opportunists that you playing with.
And I said, well, don't you have my daughter? And she said, yeah.
I want you to pay attention to the savages' faces. You see Tim, he like, oh yeah. You see Jocelyn, got him. And Robert don't even know that big bitch. This is what I mean when I say terrorists. But if you pay attention at the play, she steps inside the federal building. Look, opens the door prematurely. Act like she on her phone calling Joy. Then steps back in.
Well, don't you have my daughter? And she said, yeah.
And talk shit. And points the finger. You ain't never going to know where she at. At this moment, I am fucking aggravated and mad. And I said it once and I say it again. Don't let you be the one I gotta run through to make sure Robert come home. This the same play she played when Trevin and them walked up and she ran into the building. But she get on the internet and she's this big, popular, knock you out, do this and do that type person. I am done with feeding these clowns. Tomorrow, I'm going to come and I'm going to show this alone. And I'm going to break down every part of this trailer. You don't want to miss it. I'm going to show you why it's captivating. I'm going to show you why it's believable. Now, where everybody say, oh, Dana's an actor. Here's where the actor show you what the actors are doing. There's no other way to break down a presentation than to have what? An actor. So understand who's in your vicinity. Only stupid people will try to cast out what they need and who they need. But this saying, you ain't gonna never know where she at. Cool. And look who she's connected to. Sean Hurst. Rainbowski. Sean Hurst's wife. What is her name? Shit, I forgot right now because she's another administrator. She's connected to Sylvia. Look, they're all connected together. They connected to Dawn, who's putting his music out. This ain't a game. And if I got to stand against 1,000 people, I'll do it. Hashtag free Robert Sylvester Kelly. Hashtag we all we got. And I'm going to send a letter that go like this to Lifetime. Y'all putting out the final story. But I guarantee you, y'all won't be rejoicing for the resurrection. And I'll stamp that. On that note, surviving lies will never stand. But I get it. Everything you put in that trailer was debunked at court. Put that out there. And certain people that quit from season 1, now is the time that we put a trailer out for Robert Sylvester Kelly. So if you with the no nonsense, if you ain't with the distractions, if you ain't with the division, let's form a united front for Robert Sylvester Kelly. And let's make sure Surviving Lies, the final chapter, don't get the traction that they're looking for. Dream team, we all we got. We all we need. We all one. One voice, one sound, one band. This one is personal. The first one we struck out. The second one we fouled the ball off. The third one we need to hit a home run to bring Robert home. On that note, I said it once, and I say it again. If you ain't here to help him, damn sure don't hurt him. And because a lot of y'all is out there trying to hurt him, we ain't rocking with y'all. That go for whoever it may be. I ain't here to be the police of who doing what anymore. But what I will say is this right here. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 6:30. We're going to break down the trailer of Surviving R. Kelly, piece by piece. DanaJay, love all of y'all. I thank all of y'all for coming over, for giving me your view. Hit that like button. Like, share, subscribe, share me out. Do whatever you got to do. I'm gone once again. See y'all tomorrow night. Peace.
Man, I got so much on my mind. If I don't let it out, I'm gonna explode straight up.
I'm sitting here looking at all these people around me, thinking if I wasn't an art, tell me where would they be? Most of them don't even care about Robert Kelly. No, they only care about what I can do for them. Some of them hang around me cause I got money. Tell me what happened to my whole family. Can't they see him going through? Little brother really needs them. I was there for them when they needed me. Yeah. Soon as the drama come, y'all asses quick to run. What type of shit is that? How could y'all turn y'all backs? People, they smile right in your face, then go and talk behind your back when they don't even know the facts. And some of y'all church folks pointing the finger at me, yeah. You should be loving on me, on your knees and praying for me. You'll never get it right. Is that the Christian life? Sometimes I like to party, drink, have sex, and smoke weed. But just because I love them things, it doesn't mean I'm going crazy. God, I wish I knew why people wanna hate me. And all I do is help them, try my best to love them, try to lift them up, but they don't appreciate, so fuck them. Swimming in you, hey, little mama, said I wanna take a dip in your pool, just go for a little dive, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. But let me slow. How come you ain't on Facebook checking up for me when you're around me most of the day? And you know that I'm a good brother. Always got your hands out, it ain't no doubt that y'all niggas ain't nothing but blood suckers. Plus, y'all ain't bringing nothing to the table. Yeah, nigga, and you know it's real talk. Taking pictures with me for your Instagram, but when I need you, you're quick to get lost. Robert J and Joe A, my kids, what you hearing out here about that? Guys, I'm sorry for this. I'm so sorry, I can't imagine what y'all must be going through. Every day it's something about me, my God, it must be killing you. I promise there'll be better days. Just keep walking straight. I know you must be worried, but just know that I'm okay. For me, things has gotten rough. Right now I can't say too much, but for y'all I will stay tough. Daddy just need y'all to trust and believe in me. I admit that I've told the truth, and I'm still not free. Still won't hate me, they still won't stone me, still won't chain me, think they won't kill me. I admit it, I admit it, I admit it, I did it, I admit it, I did, I admit it, I did.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
No disrespect to Chi-Town, my home, but we've gotta learn how to support our own. I admit that my heart cries for my city, cause we're losing young lives in the city. Instead of judging me, y'all should be using me to help these kids, raise them out of depression and poverty. Now I'm not saying I'm no savior, but I could be an inspiration. This is an invitation. Man, I admit I go through so much day to day. Got 23 lawyers, 3 or 4 managers. What am I doing? Show me the way. The only thing I have left is my voice, and now I have to use it for my protection, because they left me no choice. See, my work has nothing to do with my private life, so stay the fuck out of my business and tend to your own damn life. So go ahead, say what you wanna say about who I wanna date, but you won't say that shit to my face, cause you know it ain't shit to say. Next nigga bring me some dumb shit, it's gonna be a misunderstanding, cause niggas that listen to dumb shit are niggas that be on that dumb shit. They need a line cause they ain't got no life, so they always conjuring up dumb shit. Blocking my path, they don't know the half, and so they making assumptions. Since when do assumptions cost a man his whole career? Found guilty when you're innocent is the only test I fear. There is one thing that's for sure, and I wanna make this shit clear. I done lived my voice and represented my country for 31 fucking years. Damn it, I admit, I admit, I admit, I admit, I admit, I admit, I admit.